रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम.
Hello children and hello dear mothers. So in the last episode we saw that Ravan had taken Sita in his chariot and flown away. And Ram and Lakshman were very upset and very frustrated, and they were roaming around the jungles trying to figure out where Sita has gone when Jatayu told them about it, that Ravan had taken her away. So as they walked along through the forest, they came to a small hut. They were going towards Lake Pampa, and they met in this little hut lived a old lady called Shabri. So Shabri knew that Ram was about to visit her. Intuitively, she got to know. So she had collected a whole lot of berries for Ram, and out of her dedication to serve him the sweetest berries, she had tasted every berry and she had thrown away the ones that were not sweet, and she had collected a bowl full of very sweet berries which were meant for Ram. And she offered them to Ram with most humility, and she told him that she was very sure that all the berries were sweet because she had tasted each one of them. So in reaction to that, Ram was, what do you think Ram would have done? If somebody gives you a tasted food and says, "Ye bada swad hai, this is very tasty, why don't you eat?" You wouldn't want to have it, right? But Ram blessed her, and in his complete humility, he took the offering from her and he had those berries, because he knew that her heart was very pure, and she had not done that to give him something which was not clean or whatever, but to make sure, very sure, that every berry that Ram ate was very sweet. So this episode shows Shabri's pure-hearted and innocent dedication towards her God, her Lord Ram, and also Ram's great humility to accept those berries. So what it reminds us is that actually in life it is the heart that matters most. With what kind of heart and what kind of intention you do something is the most important in life. It is not the superficial things which are important. It is the intent, the kindness, the love in your heart that matters. So when Ram told her about his search for Sita, she guided him and told him to go to Sugriv. He was the king of monkeys. And she said, "You go visit Sugriv and he will surely, with the help of all the monkeys he has, help you to reach Lanka and find Sita." So that Ram took her advice and moved on towards Lake Pampa. So as they walked along Lake Pampa, they came to the foothills of mountain Rishamukh. Now, when they were trying to walk up the mountain, the king Sugriv, the king of the monkeys, he had a palace on top of that mountain, and he could see them coming. So he got a little suspicious. He thought maybe somebody is coming to kill him, because he had had a fight with his brother Vali, who had not only taken over the kingdom of Kishkinda from him, he had also run away with his wife, Sugriv's wife. So he thought maybe Vali is sending somebody in order to kill him or something like that. So he sent his main minister, his chief minister, who was Hanuman, who was the son of the wind. And he told Hanumanji that you please go and check who is trying to climb up the mountain of Rishamukh, our mountain. So Hanuman came down, and when he came, he realized that, oh, Lakshman and Ram were there. So he immediately bowed to them, and he was, full of respect for Ram, because he knew that Ram was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Intuitively he knew that, because he had been his disciple always. So he told Ram and Lakshman not to worry. He made them sit on his back and he flew up. Now Hanuman was the son of the wind, so he could do lots of feats. He was also an incarnation of God. He had lots of powers. He could fly, he could change his size, he could do lots of things. So he made them sit on his back and he flew up to the palace of King Sugriv. Now, King Sugriv was also a son of the, he was the son of the sun. Like he had that kind of power in him. So, but Sugriv was very upset with his own brother Vali, and when Ram came to meet him, he welcomed him and he told him about Vali and how Vali had taken away his wife also. And at the same time, he told Ram that some of his monkeys had brought jewelry which probably belonged to Sita, and he showed it to Ram. And Ram realized that yes, that jewelry was Sita's. You remember I told you when Sita saw the monkey, she had thrown her jewelry to them in the forest. So all that jewelry was lying with Sugriv because they had taken it and given it to their king. Now Ram promised Sugriv that he will not only challenge Vali, but he will bring his wife back for Sugriv. So what they did was that all of them with Hanuman, they went and visited Vali in Kashkinda. And when they were there, Sugriv challenged Vali to come out and have a fight with him. And when they had a fight, Vali was very strong and Sugriv was about to get defeated when Ram took out his bow and arrow and he put one through through Vali, and Vali died. He was wounded badly actually initially. So when he got wounded, then he realized that he had actually not done the right thing by taking away his brother's wife. And just before he dying, he apologized and also asked his brother to take care of his only son Angad. So Sugriv was a very benevolent king, and he forgave his brother and he promised him that he will look after Angad. So now that Vali had died, Sugriv brought Angad along with him, and the whole kingdom of Kishkinda was very happy to have Sugriv as a ruler because Sugriv was a very benevolent king. He was a very nice king, and they were all very jubilant. So now that there was peace in the kingdom and Sugriv was very, very happy to have his wife back, he really wanted to do something for Ram, and he told Hanumanji, and Hanumanji immediately offered that he will go and look for Sita and find Sita Mata for Ram. He used to call Sita Mata like a mother. So he said, don't worry, I will go and find her. So Angad also offered to go, but everybody dissuaded him initially because they realized that it would may be very difficult for Angad to cross so many places and try to find Sita Mata. So what happened was that when Hanuman went half the way towards, he was going towards Lanka, they got tired and Angad was with him at that time, and they were sitting under a tree, and they were discussing about the death of Jatayu and how brave he was. You remember Jatayu, who had tried to stop Ravan from taking Sita, and they discussed how Ravan had cut off his wings and Jatayu died. Now when they were discussing all this, there was another vulture sitting nearby, and he heard them talk. And he came and spoke to Hanumanji, and he said, Jatayu was my brother and my name is Sampati, and I'm really angry. How could Ravan kill my brother? So I will look for Ravan and I will help you find Sita. So Sampati went high up on a tree and perched himself up, and because he was a vulture, he could really see far, So from there he could figure out that he could see Sita in the Ashok Vatika of Ravan. So he told them that Sita is actually in Ravan's garden called Ashok Vatika, and you should proceed there and you will find her. So as Sampati was describing Ashok Vatika and Lanka to Hanumanji, they realized that Lanka was, situated on a mountain top of Trikut. But the problem was that Trikut was on an island, and the island was surrounded by a very deep ocean. So it would be not very easy to reach Mount Trikut and Ashok Vatika. But Hanuman said that I will do whatever it takes, but I will go and meet Sita and I will make sure that she's safe and I will try to bring her back for Ram. And this is what I'm going to do for my own Lord Ram. So nobody can stop me. Even if I have to, he said, bring the Mount Trikut. I will pick up the whole mountain and bring it back. So he had that kind of determination. So Ram had given him his ring so that he could show that ring to Sita Mata so that she doesn't feel scared if he tells him that he has come from Ram, so that she can recognize that he's a messenger from her husband Ram. So he took the ring with him and he just flew over the ocean. He increased his size to a giant size and he just flew over the ocean and he went and landed in Ashok Vatika in Lanka. So, in the next episode, I'll tell you what happened in Lanka. So, if you have enjoyed the story so far, do subscribe to my channel, share and like, and give me some comments. And I will share about what Hanumanji did in Lanka in my next episode. And these episodes of Hanumanji, I'm dedicating them to my grandsons Samarth and Riyansh and all the little boys in India and all over the world who are very impressed with the powers of Hanumanji and they all want to be strong and powerful like Hanumanji. So on that note, I will say bye for now and see you again in the next episode. Bye bye.